Back to the story of the day in Washington, D.C. We've got multiple cameras now watching the arrival of Donald Trump 1 hour ago on the dot, now meeting with Paul Ryan, and later he will meet with leaders in the Senate, Republican leaders. Howie Kurtz, host of Media Buzz and Fox News media analyst who, I mean, what you see a scene like this, Howie, and you salivate, don't you?
Absolutely.
All these reporters, all these cameras, all those storylines. Question for you. It is my feeling that lobbyists, lawmakers, they're all wondering how their lives would change under a Donald Trump presidency. Has the media also considered that possibility? And if so, what do they say?
Well, it's no secret, Bill, that Donald Trump has been a goldmine for ratings and has dominated the news, the political news, for almost a year now. Reporters are obviously thinking about, wow, what if this guy made it to the White House? What if we had 4 years of this with Donald Trump in the Oval Office? It would just be endless stories and drama in a way that we rarely see. At the same time, there's a lot of respect for Paul Ryan in the Washington press corps. He has a lot of friends in that press corps. They see him as a serious policy guy who really stands for his vision of conservatism, shrinking the size of government. Remember, most of the Beltway pundits discounted or minimized and some mocked Donald Trump, who comes to town now for this meeting, who doesn't really emphasize shrinking government. In fact, he wants to protect Medicare and Social Security. So it is seen as a kind of a clash of cultures, and I think there's a lot of sympathy for Ryan with Trump being viewed as the interloper from New York.
That's an interesting answer there. Now, you're bi-coastal. You split your time between Washington and New York City. Your old paper, the Washington Post, and Bob Woodward, the famous reporter, has said that a team of 20 staffers will be assigned to reporting on Donald Trump. And the newspaper, now owned by Jeff Bezos out of Amazon, also says the paper will write a book about Trump. Question then, is this normal?
Well, the Post does have a long history of doing these endless investigative profiles of presidential candidates. I remember in 1984, a reporter found out that Gary Hart had changed his name from Gary Hartpence and lied about his age. So, doing the book on Donald Trump, that tells you something about the lucrative media marketplace for all things Trump. But in fairness, Post also says it's going to scrutinize Hillary Clinton as well, and that is a part of the tradition.
So, Woodward says, with regard to the personal server, that there was no intent on her part, this is his words now, to distribute classified information in a way that was illegal or jeopardized security. Okay, that's his opinion. But I don't know if we know that answer just yet, do we?
I would agree that we don't know that answer, and that's his opinion, but with a lot of facts we don't know about this FBI investigation. At the same time, Bob Woodward has hardly been soft on Hillary Clinton. He has compared the dumb thing she did with the private email server to Watergate. And
so perhaps that opinion is premature?
It may be,
right?
But it's, you know, it's one thing, even for Woodward, who is, you know, the author of so many books and the sleuth of Watergate, and who I respect very much. It's one thing to talk on TV. When you do the 30,000-word or the 50,000-word series on Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, then you are trafficking in facts. And, you know, a lot of people say they want this from the media. Some conservatives say this is not what the media did with Barack Obama in 2008. Now, are people going to read those 50,000 words? Maybe not in the era of 140 characters, but if there are significant findings, that will resonate through the media echo chamber.
I think we can both agree that Donald Trump does not have a public life in terms of government, so there is a lot to figure out about him, how he would govern, how he would manage a campaign, how he would be and behave as the leader of the party, which he will be in all likelihood after this day today in Washington. So there is plenty of space, I would argue, that should be applied to Donald Trump as a person, as a politician.
I wholeheartedly
get it, but 2008, was the Post your old employer in 2008? Were they as instructive on Barack Obama, a senator?
I think the Post did some good reporting on Barack Obama, but look, Barack Obama in 2008 got the softest media treatment of my professional lifetime. At the same time, the digging into Donald Trump's big business record and his past seems to roll off him. Just the other day, the Post did a front-page story on raunchy things he'd said about women to Howard Stern and others over the years, and Trump gave the paper an interview. Most candidates would run and hide and said, yeah, you know, I said a bunch of things. I was a businessman. I was an entertainer. I didn't think I'd be running for office. I don't think it caused a big stir because I think people have baked that into the cake. This is who Donald Trump was. Now he's in a different role.
Woodward, the New York real estate world is more complex than the CIA. Great quote.
Great turf there.
Right? Who would know? But, okay, Howie, we'll be watching. Thank you for your analysis.
Great to see you, Bill.
And the coverage continues. Howard Kurtz, host of Media Buzz. Check him out on Sunday. Thank you, Howie.